Hey, this is Jordan and Justin with Delta Team Tactical, and we are here today to talk about 80% lowers and frames.
This is one of our favorite topics because we carry a lot of these and we tend to sell a lot of these, but it's also something that, because we're working with an 80% lower, which is exactly what it sounds like it is a lower receiver or a frame for a firearm that's only 80% finished. It is something where you need to be super careful and super aware of the rules and the legalities around this stuff. So we just kind of wanted to do a quick little explanation, cover some of the main points of what is an 80% lower, what do we need to know about this, and kind of show off and display some of the products that we carry and will be available to you guys on our website. So first things first, maybe I'll just kind of pass it on over here.
Yeah, so we have here on the table, we got a few different styles. This is the AR-15. So we have it in a variety of platforms. Currently on the table, we have AR-15, LR-308, which is commonly mistaken for AR-10, which the differences between those will be a different video. And we have some Glock compatible frames. These are from different manufacturers, Lone Wolf and Polymer 80. So the AR-15 80% lower is just that. It is compatible with AR-15s. This will work with any mil-spec upper receiver and most billet upper receivers as well. So sometimes the billets has some unique designs, so you just want to check compatibility. They all have their different way of going about it. You can get them in both polymer and aluminum, and in the aluminums you can get them in forged and billet. So there's a few different configurations. In fact, this one right here is just your typical mil-spec forged AR-15 80% lower. This part's the part you need to machine out, and there's different jigs and tools to help with that. These two are they come out of the same factory. One is a skeletonized billet, and the other is not skeletonized, but these are both billet 80% lower receivers. These are machined out of a single block of aluminum, where this is forged into this shape and then machined into the 80% part of the lower receiver.
So we also have here on the table a couple of these Glock compatible frames. We'll kind of show those up a little bit closer there. So this one here is from Lone Wolf. This one is from Polymer 80. The Polymer 80 ones we do carry in a few different colors. We're gonna have those in FDE occasionally. Oh yeah, there's a little.
And that's what it looks like when it's finished.
Yeah, that's just
if you finish it. And we're not saying that this one is or isn't. But that's the FDE color.
Yeah, so FDE, OD green. Occasionally we get like the titanium blue. There's
cobalt,
a gray.
Yeah, cobalt gray.
So we're gonna have a bunch of different options of the Polymer 81. Pretty sure we just get the Lone Wolf in black, but these are handgun frames that are 80% complete. They need a little bit more work done on them before they can be operable. So you buy them like this, and then you just got to complete the rest of the process, and then you got to buy a frame kit, you got to buy a slide parts kit, and build out the rest of the firearm. And these are Glock compatible, so most of your parts that are for Glock compatible are going to be fine to be used on these frames as you build them out.
So one of the things to be mindful of when you're doing one of these is both the platform of Glock compatibility. We sell these in a variety of them. 19 and 17 are the most popular, but we've gotten them in a variety of stuff, even down to the Glock 26. And you also need to be mindful of what generation of Glock platform it's compatible with. We had some and weren't aware. It was a brand new product, so there wasn't marketing information on it that was Glock Gen 4 compatible when all the parts we were selling were Glock Gen 3 compatible. It took us by surprise as well. So something to be mindful of in when you're shopping for these is to not just line up the model of Glock, but what generation of Glock compatibility works with it.
Yeah, and we do our best to keep the listings on our website updated with as much of that information as we have.
And we do have a bunch of combos with these, so if you're worried about putting compatible parts together, we take the guesswork out of it for you, and there'll be links down in the description below where you can link up to these and buy combos and kits that are compatible with one another. So, and that brings us to the big boy here.
That brings us to the big boy over here, which is this is for the LR308 platform, and so, as you can see, it's pretty much the same as these guys over here, but just bigger still. We need some work done here to finish it out, but that's going to be a great way to get started on your 308 build. Your 6.5 Creedmoor build is with an 80% like this. Do you know if this is billet, forged?
I think that one is forged, but one thing to be mindful of with LR308, there is no what they call mil spec, which this is mil spec AR-15. It's built to military specifications. On the LR308 platform, that's exactly what it is. It's a platform, and it may or may not be compatible. So like certain upper receivers, the back part of them here is cut differently. So you need to make sure, that is one thing to be mindful of when you're shopping for an 80% 308 is what is this compatible with your upper? I would start, if you're really wanting to do an 80% 308 build, start with the 80% lower and then find an upper that is compatible with that 80% lower, as opposed to buying your upper first and then trying to find an 80% lower to match up. There's fewer of these on the market. They're harder to find, a lot harder to find than the AR-15, but they are, just because there's no mil spec, there's no guarantee that this will work with your upper receiver. So you want to find upper receivers to match. Again, we do put combos. We test fit them here. And if they are compatible, you see an upper-lower combination together. That is something that does fit and will work together. So we do try to take the guesswork out of it and put compatibility together. While I have this, you probably noticed that this one is black and these are not. You can get 80% already anodized. This is a very popular option. Some people, especially if you live in a more humid environment, we're out here in Utah, so it's a lot dry. Things corrode a lot slower here because of the dry air, especially if you're living in a coastal area with not just humidity, but salt in the air. When you machine the stuff out, it's obviously not, what you cut out is not coated anymore. And you need a lot of anodizers, because it's an 80% lower, there's no serial number on it. They legally shouldn't be taking that from you, because at that point it is a complete firearm. So if you are in an area where you're worried about corrosion, you'll want to find a way to treat the untreated part of the metal inside so it doesn't corrode and gum up and become unreliable. But yeah, you can get them anodized. I know a lot of guys that just rattle can spray paint the inside of them, but you can Cerakote it. There's a variety of coatings that you can put together on that. And we do sell anodized AR-15 80% also, so you can get those there. With the polymer, you obviously don't need to worry about it.
So let's just maybe address a couple kind of frequently asked questions type of things. Number one would be, and I'm just gonna kind of ask you this.
Sure.
Why an 80% lower? What are some of the reasons for going that route?
Well, I think the most important reason is what the great philosopher Tim the Toolman Taylor said from the show Home Improvement. If you didn't build it yourself, it's not really yours. So why? Because you want it to be yours. So
throwback reference.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever wonder what my childhood was like, go watch those videos, and it's very similar. Except Jonathan Taylor Thomas was my sister. That character. It was very representative.
Hopefully he sees this video sometime.
Yes, he's a big fan of us. Why 80%? I mean, if you know, you know. I don't want to address kind of the obvious thing, but it's like, if you know, you know, and if you don't, ask someone who knows. But Also, you got to build it the way that you want it. Like you can make this uniquely yours, and it's you know I'm somebody that likes building things. I make a lot of things out of metal, out of wood. Um, Broken skateboards is my personal favorite medium. I'm going to build a furniture kit out of recycled skateboards for my AR.
It's a lot
one
of
day.
skateboards.
Yeah, but I just like why would you want to do it? I like making things, and it's fun. So I think that's the biggest reason.
Yeah,
Other than the one that you know that we're not going to say.
I'm definitely a firm believer in the concept that just like as you build things, I'm definitely a firm believer in the concept that as you build things yourself, you know more about how it works, how it operates. Anyone who has like built AR-15s is probably familiar with that. That you know your firearm better if you put it together yourself, and so I think this is just like kind of one step deeper as far as that goes, understanding the firearm and how it works, how it functions, how it operates, and also, I mean, at times it can be less expensive to pick up an 80%.
You can.
As long as you have a good way of finishing it out, and so yeah, there's a few good reasons to go that way.
And we actually sell, like, one of our big clienteles for these are gun shops that have their own variants. So they buy the 80% from us and they finish them, they serialize them, they put them together, Cerakote it, anodize it. They do. So that is a big market for us that you can, if you are wanting to start your own gun shop, you can buy these and have your own variants and serialize them yourself. So that is another reason why somebody would buy these. If you don't have to go find a place to.
You don't need to go find a machine shop to do it from step one.
Yeah, and minimum order quantity is a lot less with us than going to a place that's building out lowers, and if they have a variance, and if they have the proper FFL licenses to make those for you as well as the machines. So
cool. And then maybe one more thing, just because kind of as we like briefly stated at the beginning of the video, this is kind of the important aspect of just dealing with 80% lowers. What do people need to kind of take into account if you're thinking of ordering an 80% lower?
I mean, that's a great question. I think the first thing is, where do you live? And always check. We try to stay up to date on the website of what states we can and cannot ship these to, but also double check your state laws to make sure that you live in a state that allows freedom. And to build this out yourself. This is not a firearm. It is legal currently at this time to build your own firearm for your own personal use, and this is one of the ways that people are doing that. And so, yeah, definitely check your state. And then, the compatibility, what parts will fit with this. That is definitely a bigger concern. But what part do you need to finish this? There's a variety of jigs and bits and stuff out there. And like you can see, these are two very different things. I was talking to a friend, and the jig that he had did not work with this one because the jig went through where the trigger guard goes. And with this one, where it has a removable trigger guard, the jig was designed to work with a mil spec 80% lower, and it did not work with the billet. So it worked with some of the things, but not all of them. So he had to get an additional jig to finish this. So just something to be mindful of if you're getting a billet versus a mil spec. Is the jig that you're getting designed to work with that? Because they're not all created the same. That's one of the things I like about the Glock frame ones is they do come with the jig and the bit, so what it's all designed to go together, and it's just a lot. Everything you have's in the box.
Yeah, it's
Everything
a pretty streamlined process.
Yeah, and a Dremel tool and a razor blade, you can and a drill, you can put one of those together.
All right, so one final kind of recap that. This is a general look at what you're going to be able to find as far as 80% lowers and frames goes on our website, which we will, like Jordan said, be linking in the caption below to where you can find some of this stuff on our site. Inventory and exactly what we offer is going to vary from time to time, but you're pretty much always going to be able to find some AR-15 80% lowers in aluminum and polymer. You're going to be able to find some Glock compatible stuff. And hopefully, hopefully you're going to be able to find the LR308 80% lowers as well. But these things,
they're a little bit more elusive.
Yeah,
so
they're-
they're a little bit more elusive. So when you see them, get them, because
Yeah.
don't wait, because it's harder for us to find them and get them. So
yeah. And so this is just a general look at what we carry and try to keep in stock for you guys, and then just kind of a quick overview of things that you want to make sure that you're well aware of going into this process, because it's easy to get hung up on all the little steps and little just little details that maybe you weren't aware of from the get-go.
And also, like, if you have additional questions that we don't cover in this video, leave a comment below with your question. That would we'll collect those and make another video and address those questions. So thanks for tuning in, and definitely check us out and subscribe to our email newsletter.